Houston, we have a problem. I got problems in the bees, not with cows yet, but I got a problem with the bees. I noticed it the other day, called my state bee inspector. I actually thought I had a what they call a European foul brood, but it turns out he come out and looked at them, and his opinion on them is I've got a queen that is pretty much too old, so she's not laying well in there. Got really sparse brood pattern in there. Not really any eggs. If there is any, he thinks they may be a laying worker. So we've got to go fix this hive. First, I got to get suited up. So here we go. And it's only 88 degrees, but the heat index is like 100, 101 is what I checked a while ago. So it's still a little toasty out here, but that's okay. Sacrifice I make for my bees. All right, that's one thing you definitely don't want, bees going up the back of your shirt. So wearing a shirt like this, better tuck it in quick. Getting the cart before the horse. Starting to beard. Look at all the activity. This one here is the one we got the problem with. We're going to pop it open. We're going to take some brood out of this one and put it over into this one. And that's another reason I always highly recommend having two hives minimum. First thing we're going to do is try to find her. But you'll see here, there is no brood anywhere in this. And this queen is 2 years old, so she's coming what you'd generally expect. I guess I should have expected that anyway. Coming near the end of her life cycle. And that right there is what I'm talking about, a sparse brood pattern. And you can see a few in here. There is definitely something wrong. There's another spot. Really sporadic, sparse brood. As of right now, I'm putting her in this queen cage. I just don't really have the heart to pinch her head off, but that's what you're supposed to do. Get rid of them. I've only pinched the head off of one other queen, and that was because the hive was so vicious. When you open it, they just bull out and attack you. And they say replacing the queen can calm a hive down, and it did. It worked. I'll have to think about this. But what we're gonna do, put what little brood they do have in there back in there. But we're going to come over here to this pink box and pull a frame of cap brood out and put them in here. I don't know if y'all can see that. Let me move the camera. Alright, if this is one of your first videos watching bees, I always try to start out here on the edge. I know this one right here is already capped honey. Reason for that is if the queen's on this frame, less likely to roll her up on one of these other frames. Don't see her, but we do not have any cap brood on here. I do got a bunch of larvae. What the bee inspector told me, you don't want to put a bunch of larvae in there for them to have to try to take care of. I can look at the side of this one and tell there's not much. This one's got more. Oh, there's a good frame. Just had capped at the top. So that right there is a good brood pattern. And it's got the most capped larvae on it. Look and make sure we don't see a queen. I don't see her. So what these are going to do when they hatch out, they're going to turn into nurse bees, and that way you'll have something to feed the baby larvae when we put a new queen in here. Double checking. Don't see her. So let's set them right down in there. Alright, I went ahead and looked on some more frames and just to make sure. And there is the queen that goes in this pink hive. Look how dark she is. And she's big too. Her back in there. That back there. Alright, we've got all the frames back in here. One thing I did want to show you, now that the queen's in here, see how gentle these bees are acting? If you ever go to put a queen in a new hive, how gentle these are acting. They're trying to feed her through this, and they know that's their queen. If you get really aggressive bees all over this, you do not want to release that queen out of that cage or they will kill her. Well, they've got the honey stored up. Alright, next what I'm going to do real quick is I just put a queen in this one this weekend. When he come by and inspected them, he said he didn't see any signs or the queen. So I need to go in here and make sure that they didn't kill her, because they was acting fine when I put her in there. Make sure I can find her in here. This here is that queen castle. I actually caught a swarm in that. There's a little swarm, but it did have a queen. This one didn't. So I took her and that swarm and put in here with these bees. Let's see if she's still in there. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know. Not on that frame, you can tell. 6 bees on there. Yeah, I think he's right. By the looks of all this, her and that swarm may have left. Wow, I don't know. Sometimes you cannot figure them out, or definitely I can't. Alright, now it's been a couple days. We're going to go into this box. This is the mini mating nuke, or mating nuke that I built, that we put the queen from way down there, put her in there just to save her and make sure that the hive that I'm gonna have to put a new queen in down there is going to accept the new queen. And so I thought, well, I didn't have the heart to kill her, so I thought I'll just put her in here for now. Let's open it up and let's release her. Go ahead and look at this one again and just make sure that that queen that was in here didn't come back for whatever reason. I don't know why she left. Can't ever tell with them. Nope, I don't see her. Here's the queen in this one. Hopefully they are all used to each other now. We'll put her down inside here. And just maybe, for whatever weird reason, she might start laying again. Kind of like an experiment though, pretty much. Unless they're really mean, it's hard for me to kill them. And what I find odd is that colony didn't kill her. If she wasn't any good, they normally kill them. Y'all all go back in your house. Alright, something else I'm going to do is I'm fixing to go down through here and look into my supers and just check and see how much honey is in there. I'm fixing to pull the honey supers all off. I'm going to treat for mites this week. I got a bee trying to attack my face on the screen. Anyway, we're going to treat for mites and get that process going and hopefully be done. I had one just a second ago trying to attack the little fuzzy ball on my microphone. There's some honey there, but you can see it's not capped. Very, very little of it capped. You can't harvest that. And that's the same way on all them frames. We'll move down to the next one. That one right there don't weigh nothing. There's some bees in it, but not no honey. And I can look down through this and see the same thing. It's probably because of how late I harvested in the spring, but so they don't have this one filled or this one filled, so I think, well, I know I definitely don't need 2 supers on there. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back probably tomorrow and just pull all of these. We may not have no fall honey. Same thing. Alright, looking at all these, it looks like I'm going to need to just pull all these honey supers off. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to experiment a little more this winter. I'm going to put some double deeps back on these through the winter. I'm fixing to feed them real heavy with sugar water, get their honey storage built up, and then come next spring, I'll start pulling all them double deeps apart and just doing a walk-away split. If you hadn't ever seen that, I hope you're still here next year when you watch me do a walk-away split. Alright guys, I know the sun's still out. I'm done with the bees for today. I'm beat, I'm tired. I'm just ready to have a few hours off of rest and relax. Sit down and probably watch some YouTube videos or something like that. So, thank y'all for watching, and until next time, God bless.